Thanks for joining me today for palm reading about business and career. I have this palm photo here to the left that I'm going to be using as this example today. I have some lines drawn on it ready, and here it is here. You have a few numbers here. I've got some lines drawn over the top. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is this lifeline, and there's a lot of changes that go on here. There's quite a few marks on there. There's a couple of rising lines, and these are ambition lines. So early on it shows the person had quite a bit of ambition, but sometime in the early 20s there's a bit of a change happening. So there is the lifeline, instead of following the normal path across here, it's not there at all. So it seems to sort of follow a path on the inside of the lifeline from around 21 to 25, 30, 35 approximately. It starts to come in a little bit stronger. And if I mark the age a little bit further, there is the age around 38 to 40 where the energy is transferred back. So that original path that has been disrupted for some reason, there's a big disruption there, it comes back, literally jumps across back to its original path. So I'm assuming it could be anywhere from age 35, but more likely a little bit later, 38 to 40, the lifeline resumes as normal. So that is showing that there is a major change around that age, and it can be represented through the career line. So there's possible that we can see that change elsewhere. So let's look at these other lines that I've marked here. I have the line in orange, that is the career line, showing the fate line rising in a fairly steady manner, but a little bit faint, rising up to the approximate age of 35. Now around the headline is the line that's running through here. There's a lot of sort of messy lines there. So I've marked that in a yellow square thing to sort of point out that there is a period of stress or overly worrying. So being negative, having negative thoughts, and just not thinking straight, possibly for a period of time. But the headline does seem to clear up. It's not that pattern throughout, so it may be a temporary period of stress. So this orange line transfers across. There is a change, much like the lifeline changes. So it's showing the change around that age 35. That is approximate, and then it changes again. So this fate line that represents the career has a little jump. I'll point to it. In this area here, it jumps from one section to another. So that shift is representing another change, and that is approximately the age of 40. So the mark over here where we saw the shift in the lifeline, approximately 40, is also represented here in the career line. around the same age. So that is showing change, and the change can represent many things. It can represent a change in your attitude. It can be a change of what you are doing physically in your business or work, and it usually needs to be reflected the same on the success line, which are the green lines here. So these green lines are a bit messy, so they're not steady. So there's not a steady stream of income, has been a bit sporadic by the look of it, because it's not showing the same as the fate line is. That fate line does seem to go steady after that, around that age 40 mark, and the success lines begin to form nicely from around the 50 mark. Now these lines can change over time, and so they are representing what's been happening up until now. So because this person is 38, it's representing that around this time things have not been very steady, so there needs to be a change, and the fate line is representing that change. And that could just be an attitude fix, just fixing a more positive attitude and not having negative thinking. The success line in the green, that is a double line from around the age of 50. So that can show that there is two income sources, or that there is two different parts of the business that the person is focusing on. And it's reflected also with the fate lines. There is a double fate line, and that double fate line will represent, again, either two income sources or two important goals and motivations, things, two different things to do in the business, two different sectors possibly. Just multitasking is very common in business, so it is a representation of that multitasking. And the orange line that branches from the fate line towards the green lines, those success lines, is showing that a certain sector of the business will likely to be quite successful. So that is some potentially inspirational idea, because they're all leaving from around the heart line area. And when lines leave the heart line area, that shows what we are passionate about and how we put our heart into our work. So this is the heart line here. So it is quite a straight heart line, so it's sort of a not a very sentimental heart line. It is a very ambitious heart line, so it shows the person is an ambitious character. And also I want to point out the dark blue lines up here. These are the business lines. So that mainly represents the person's attitude is very business minded. It doesn't guarantee that anything is a success, but it is these more likely, these green lines that represent the success. Now in this area that I've got in the square, the lines were quite weak looking, so it's possible that there needs to be a lot more focus on a certain area to make these lines become a little bit clearer. And these lines do rise all the way up to the base of the finger, and that often represents that the particular path will go on for quite a long period of time. I hope you've enjoyed that short example video, and I look forward to doing more of these in the future. Don't forget, you can join my channel. Members receive special benefits such as having your own palm reading like this one, or chats in the chat room. We have special members only live streams and special members only videos. I hope you will go and check it out. Go to my channel, and in the description there will be a link where you can search through the different membership options. Bye.